Welcome back to my channel. In the Angular 11 tutorial, we have seen the Angular architecture, component, module, what are the default files and folders. Now in this particular video, we are going to see the directive. What are directive, types of directive, when and how you can use the directive in your Angular application. So let's see to the next slide. See, there are three types of directive. First one is component, second one is structural, third one is attribute. So what is directive? First question is what is directive? So directive change the style or behavior of a DOM element. Let's go to the web browser and we'll see how it works as an directive. So if I go to the angular.io, so see, if I click here, so something has been changed, right? So now, like when we do a mouse over or when we click anywhere, so you can see this something is changed, like the tooltip is come up, or if you have seen multiple websites, if you mouse over, the color of an content changed, or something, or sometime some block is hide and some block is pop up. So these kind of activity we can do through the directive, right? So let's go to our slide and we'll see. First one is component. It is used with a template, so where you would like to inject some HTML at runtime on the mouse hover, mouse leap, mouse click, whatever event it could be, but it gives the flexibility that you can use within template, right? The second one is structural. Here it changed the structure of a DOM, and directive start with the asterisk, like NgIf, NgFor, NgSwitch are the structural directive. So we know the NgFor, NgIf, NgSwitch. NgIf means would like to toggle some HTML control, right? Like div, template, or anything that a container, it could be a container, like it should be toggle at some condition. Toggle means it could be hide and show both. Then NgFor. NgFor means it iterate the value from an array and show the data on the browser. It could be like an array contain 10 elements, so showing the all the 10 elements on the browser using NgFor. So NgFor is structural directive. So NgSwitch. NgSwitch, we know that we can use the multiple condition, right? So case 1, it could be if this condition is true, then case 1 will active, and if case 2 is valid, then condition inside the case 2 will occur, right? Now third is the attribute. So attribute is change the appearance of a DOM element, for example NgStyle. So attribute directive is the last directive where we change the appearance, like for an instance, one div is there or one span is there, or any HTML control, we like to change the color, we like to change the background color, right? Which is an attribute of an HTML control, right? So we can do using attribute directive. So let's go to the Visual Studio and we'll see the one by one all the types of directive. So I will open my old one, which I used in my previous video. So I will straightforward, I'll go and add one directive, ng generate directive, right? And I will say highlight, or I would say change text. Yeah. So this will be the my directive name. Let me press enter. It will add one file using a directive. So in the first example, I am going to show you the component directive. See, it's created and added 2 files, change text. So this is the, if you can see, I had put the C capital and the T capital, right? Now it break the text from the capital letter and put the hyphen, and then it start with the text. So this is the syntax of an Angular. So I will open this one and let's see the what are the default files and folder. See, the directive is decorated with @directive. So by seeing this class, we can see and we can see here it is in directive because of this decorator, right? So whatever the code will be written here, and the selector using this selector will implement the and will call the directive anywhere. So here you can write your custom code, or you can write some logic where this logic is used multiple times, right? So I'll go and implement one span on my app.component.ts. So see, whenever I added the directive, so if you see my app.module file, it automatically added here, right? So this is the also very important point, that you should know where these linked are added by default. So lots of question in the interview you will face when you add any file, where are the changes will happen automatically. So I'll go and I'll say in the component where this is my HTML, I'll remove all my previous text. Here I will say I will take one div, and inside div I will call my directive. So here I'll take span and I'll say welcome to the directive, welcome to the component directive, right? So how you will call the directive? So we know that the selector name is this, just copy here and put it here, save it. So it automatically call the directive, right? But we have not written any logic. Let's go and implement some logic over here in the constructor. So I'll say first of all I will add element ref, because it take the reference of the span. Yeah, this is span, the whole reference will get it here. Now inside the constructor we'll say element, and it is an instance of an element ref. Now we'll also console this, so we can get we can see in the console log whole reference of the span, right? Sorry, I need to put it here. Yeah. So now I'm going to add some text, element dot native element dot inner text, right? And I'll say component directive added, and I will save it. Now let me run and see what could be the result. So see, as per understanding that this text will be occur here, right, inside this before this text, right? Because we have called the directive. So first, so whatever the text inside this directive, it will see before this text. So we'll say ngServe. Now it's compiling up. Whenever the compile will happen, we'll see the output on the browser. So hardly it would take 30 to 40 seconds max to max. Compiling up, creating the bundle. Okay, it's fine. Now I'll go and say for 200. See, this was the text from directive and this was the text from component, right? So now this is the functionality of an component directive, because it interact with an HTML, right? You have the you can interact with the HTML. Now we'll see the second, structural directive. In a structural directive, we will see the example using NgIf. So I'll go to component and I'll see, I'll take div, and inside this div I will display the name property, because I think there is a name property already defined. Yes, this name, right? So I will say here, using ngIf asterisk ngIf, I'll take the variable is name defined. So I have to declare this variable as well. I'll say boolean, and we'll say first time false. Let me save it. Right, it's visible because we have said that if the variable is true, then it will display the text, otherwise it won't be display. So see, the text is not displaying here, so I need to make it true to display the text. See, Angular 11 is text is there, right? Otherwise, before, if I make it false again, so the text won't appear. See, it refreshes automatically and it hides. So this is the functionality of an structure. Now we'll see the attribute directive. It's the last one where we'll change the style of an control. So I'll again take the one paragraph where we'll change the background color. So I'll say NgStyle, sorry, inside this NgStyle, yeah. Now what will the syntax will be like, I'll change the background color. So background color, so I'll take one variable which is color, right, blue or else red. I'll say attribute directive. So I need to define this variable inside this component. I'll say the boolean, let me say true first time. See, the attribute directive appears because there is no color background, sorry, spelling. See, the variable we put it true, so when the variable this is true, it will be blue else red. So let me do it false, then we'll see it should be red. Fantastic. Now we can also use, we can also use this directive as an attribute directive. How? Let me show you the example. We'll write the background color over here, like element dot native element dot style dot background color. So I'll say, suppose I'll say yellow, yeah, and let me copy this selector, I'll put it over here. Oh, let me see what is the issue. Why didn't appear the color? Style background color, C could be the capital. Yeah, it worked because it worked on the both the directive, because the same directive we have used for the n the first one component directive, right? Because that is why I changed the color of both the span. So in this way you can use all the type of directive, and if you have any question regarding this, you can put the question in the comment section. I will be definitely share the answer with you. So if you are new to this channel, please share the channel, subscribe the channel, like the channel, and put your thumbs up. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.